Aloha everyone, Namaste, Om Swastiastu, as they say here in Bali, Indonesia. I'm Dr. Jinju. I'm a neuroscientist and I'm also an intuitive. And I welcome you today to Embody the Cosmos, which is a goddess brain activation series where we not only read the stars and the astrology, but we take it a step further to embody the dance of the cosmos. And in this video, I am so excited to share a practice to support you with the first new moon of this year, of 2026. Before getting into the pattern, I just want to bring your attention to something really amazing. As a neuroscientist, I can't help but be obsessed with and just really in awe of the fact that we now know that we have, on average, almost as many neurons in our human brain as there are stars in our galaxy, in the Milky Way galaxy. And when you think about the neuron, each neuron of our brain actually has tens of thousands of neural connections to other neurons. So when we think about connections, we have by far tens of thousands more neural synaptic connections happening right here in this relatively tiny little head as there are stars in our galaxy. Ever since I was a little girl, I've always been very interested in the relationship between the inner world and the outer world, and from the micro to the macro. I'm pretty sure there isn't a human on this planet that doesn't look up at the stars and wonder what our connection to that vastness of this beautiful universe is to us. And I was really blessed to have an amazing mentor. Her name is Dr. Elizabeth Satori. What I really loved about her is, as an evolutionary biologist, she was able to articulate in a grounded way about how and why our planet has and holds consciousness. In fact, she wrote a book called Earth Dance. This is a simpler version of that book called Gaia's Dance. And I am bringing that into this video right now because the pattern that we are going to work with has to do with the dance of our planet and the dance of the stars. And it has to do with the spiral. Bringing it back to the astrology, briefly about the astrology of this upcoming new moon. This new moon, first new moon of the year, is in the sign of Capricorn. So this is an earth sign, and it is also conjunct or aligned with the planet Pluto, which is a planet of transformation. And then, how amazing is this? If you've never heard of something called the Sabian symbols, and I will link something down below about these, it turns out there are 360 of these symbols, which are like images with maybe a phrase of a few words, that are associated with every degree from 1 to 360 degrees of our zodiac, basically of the cosmos. This particular moon and sun, since it's a new moon, are sitting at the 28th degree of Capricorn. Okay, and with these Sabian symbols, you're supposed to round up 1 degree, so that means it's a Sabian symbol of 29 Capricorn. And what this symbol is, the image is of a woman reading tea leaves. So while this new moon is a powerful, powerful time to sit with your intentions, to write your visions, to be clear, it's also really calling for us to listen, to really listen before we leap into this year of the fire horse. And so listening, and it's about how we interpret the leaves, the tea leaves, like how do we communicate with the spiritual realm? This is the question to really ask ourselves. And in this time, this unprecedented time of technological advances and artificial intelligence, it's more important than ever to harness and to cultivate and to exercise those soft technology skills of intuition, of listening, of staying connected to that spark of divinity that lives inside of you. So in terms of communication with the spiritual realm and how we interpret things, this can be, anything from what your dreams, what's showing up in your dreams, what is showing up in nature when a butterfly lands on your toe. That happened to me the other day. Or what I love are synchronicities. Synchronicities. This is a time to really pay attention to synchronicities. And there's an art to asking these questions. And actually, we go deeper into this topic in this month's free monthly Medicine of Flow Circle. I'll link that below too. Would love for you all to join me live in that beautiful circle where we go a little deeper with the Medicine of Flow. So now let's get into the embodiment of this particular new moon and to support you in igniting those visions into 2026. So the pattern that we're going to work with today is the spiral, okay? It's the spiral. And the reason why we're working with the spiral is because this is the universal sacred geometric pattern of creation, okay? This is the pattern of cycles of death and rebirth. So if you think about I love this analogy. In some of the Eastern, specifically in Tibet and some other cultures, you all have seen something called the prayer wheel, right? They make these wheels that spin around in a circle. And what is believed in their cultures and beyond is that a prayer that is spinning and spiraling is 1,000 times more powerful than a prayer or vision that is just sitting still. And so I invite you to bring your visions into this dance and actually amplify them with that beautiful motion of the spiral. And I also invite you to bring a candle into your practice, especially because it's the first new moon of the year. I have my candle here. So we're going to work with the element of fire. Or if you just have something that represents the fire, you can even bring your hands to your heart and just connect with that flame that is sitting in the center of your heart, your soul flame, okay? And this is transformation, fire. We are igniting our visions. And as usual, I'm going to demo first, and then I'm going to break it down in the body. And as I shared in previous videos, in the Nyasana yoga practice and also in the neurosomatic flow, we anchor into the earth and we anchor into our vision and our mantra. So the mantra for this pattern today that I invite you to use and modify as you feel inspired is, anchored in earth, I ignite my highest visions into reality for the benefit of all of humanity. Okay, now I'm going to demo with our Bali Dakini Poi. I love these because it really brings that motion of the spiral and of the spinning. And these particular poi, you can write your intentions and actually put them into the poi and literally spin them. I'll put a link below for where you can find your Bali Dakini Poi. Okay, but with the poi, again, with these props, it all starts in the body. Once you have this in the body, you can add any extension, whether it's poi or fans, I'll show you that next, or anything else you could possibly imagine that are going to be extensions of your inner light and your inner prayer. Anchored in earth, I ignite my highest visions into reality for the benefits of all humanity. Anchored in earth, I ignite my highest visions into reality in benefit of all humanity. With the poi, I'm not going to get into the full breakdown in this video, but if you would like the full breakdown, let me know in the comments below, and I can either make a new video or find one to link you to. Anchored in earth, I ignite my highest visions into reality for the benefits of all humanity. So once again, what we're learning now, especially in the field of neuroplasticity, is that when we use our whole bodies and our whole brains, we can accelerate the rewiring of our subconscious belief systems and our conscious belief systems. Because when it comes to our subconscious wiring, it doesn't respond to thoughts, to our conscious thoughts until they are wired in and become a new record. Replace the old broken record with the new record. But our subconscious does respond to sensation, to feeling, to our whole bodies. And when we couple a new statement, a new reality with words, especially with a new pattern in our bodies, this is creating those new neural connections literally that are wiring in together with this new reality that you are creating for yourself. Okay, now for the breakdown. So again, I'm going to break this down in just the body. And we talked about the medicine wheel before, to just always keep in mind where your cardinal north, west, south, and east is, to know that you are, as the embodiment of the cosmos, you have an axis that you are moving around, and there's orientation to the sky, to the earth, to the west, to the east, to where the sun comes up, the sun comes down, and to what's in front of us and what's behind us. So keeping that in mind, and with this particular spiral, I call this actually the Naya spiral. Naya is the Hawaiian word for dolphin, actually, and it's the root word for our school, Nyasa Institute. And the Naya they're not just in Hawaii, but the ones that we connected with in Kealakekua Bay, they're called spinner dolphins, and they spin. When they jump out of the water, they actually spiral and spin and then dive back into the depths of the water, which is just a really beautiful dance, the dance of the spiral. They also dance the cosmos. And so in this Naya spiral pattern, we also connect with that fire in your heart, and I also am a fire dancer. And so what I like to do, because it's not always convenient to be able to dance with real fire anywhere and everywhere, we always have that inner fire. So what you're going to do is you're going to take that flame that's sitting inside of your heart, that represents the light of your soul, that represents your biggest dreams and your heart's deepest desires, and you're going to put that flame into the palm of your right hand. The right hand is going to palm up, always palm up, because if you turn your palm, guess what? You're going to burn yourself. And so you really want to keep that palm up, okay? And we're also going to orient to the pinky, okay? Just bring your awareness to the pinky. There's your thumb, and there's a pinky direction and a thumb direction. We're going to spiral in the pinky direction. So we're going to bring that pinky and spiral it into the heart, under the shoulder, and make that figure 8 motion up to the sky. Pinky circling around the crown, and then spiraling back into the heart. Okay, so now with the breath, the pinky comes, inhale up, and exhale into the heart. One more time, under the shoulders, spiraling up, pinky leads, weaving all that is above with all that is below back into the heart. Beautiful. So you can play with that, and you can make it really small or you can make it really big. Okay, so the other hand is going to be left hand, flame, got the fire there, and this time instead of the pinky, we're going to lead with the thumb. So from the heart, you're going to let that thumb lead the light up to the sky, circle around above. So it's going to be a little bit awkward here. You kind of have to twist your arm a bit to keep that palm facing up. And once you get to that point where you can't twist anymore, just bend the elbow to bring and spiral your left thumb back into the heart. Okay, so it comes back into the heart, and now it rises up, spirals up, and around, and then that awkward little twist there, and then that last circle into the heart. So up, inhale, and exhale. One more, inhale, and exhale. Okay, so again, flow state. This is a whole brain functioning state, and so we're going to bring both sides together now. And so what I like to do is actually rotate my fingers in toward the belly button, toward your pico, and then kiss the thumbs. Kiss the thumbs here, okay? I kiss the thumbs because then I'm going to be leading with the right, my right pinky. And if my thumbs are kissing, if they are touching, then my left side does not have to think. It just follows the lead of my right pinky. So the right pinky now is going to do exactly what we just did. So it's going to come into the heart, under the armpit, the shoulder, and then spiral up, 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 up. And then when it reaches here, kind of take a pause and just mark palms up to the sky, and then that right pinky now spirals back down, keeping the palms up, and here it circles back into the heart, or into the womb space, into the hip space. And then up, you can bring your breath in, and exhale. Up, and back into the heart, okay? Now, eventually you can bring some space in between the thumbs and just let one hand follow the other. Okay, and I'm also, just in the yogic tradition, you can think of the mudra, the lotus flower. This is also another really beautiful way to embody the cosmos, and the lotus is actually the metaphor of the fully activated goddess brain with these infinite petals of expression. And so there's actually, you can, with no props at all, you can spiral the lotus, okay? So it's going to be a bit similar to this, except you're going to bring your wrists together, okay? Your wrists together. Open, that right pinky begins to spiral, and those thumbs follow each other. Okay, and so with this, you can even like imagine the energy of the lotus and move very, very slowly. And bring it up to the sky and down to the earth. And don't forget to reverse so that now the left side is leading with, to balance the masculine and the feminine energies. And don't forget to turn. So with the turn, I'm just doing T-steps. T-steps, so I'm just rotating my left foot so that the heel touches the arch, and then I'm rotating my right foot so that my toes go to the arch of the other foot. Rotate left, rotate right, rotate left, rotate right, rotate left, rotate right, rotate left, and then as you pick up the speed, you can go a little bit faster. And yeah, and play with that, and play with that. So that is the pattern. Anchored in earth, I ignite my highest visions into reality for the benefit of all of humanity. Okay. And today I have an extra added fun challenge for you. If any of you are on Instagram, I challenge and encourage you to do this practice, video yourself, and tag me either on your timeline or in your stories. You can tag me at the Goddess Brain Doctor, and then I will reshare it, and this will help to amplify your visions and all of our collective visions even more. So that would be a really fun way to connect with you, and for me to be able to see your practice, actually. And once again, if this resonates, if you're enjoying these videos, would love your support to just like this video, subscribe, share this with anyone you feel would benefit from this, and may all of your visions, intentions, and prayers be infinitely blessed. Thank you for being open and willing to explore beautiful new ways of moving, especially as it relates to your divinity and the divinity of the universe, and to how we walk this planet, and to how we create and how we relate to ourselves and to one another and to the planet herself. Blessings, all my love, and I'll see you next time.